And good morning. It is Tuesday, and well, let's break the news to you. It's cold. Currently 39 as we wait for a high of somewhere around 74. So it's going to be extra warm today than what we've been used to. But 39 now as that temperature will climb here in just a little while. Keep that in mind as you're planning your morning. Dress with a jacket, and you'll have to shed it a little bit later. Welcome to Mississippi and Alabama. Hope your day is going well. We'd love to have your birthday, your anniversary, whatever you got going. We'll do those during the 7 o'clock show. We're going to tell you all about the weather. We've got headlines that are shaping America and the latest on the monkeys. Still one at large. We'll tell you all about that this morning during the 7 o'clock show. Of course, Greg will be returning this morning as Odie is on vacation. And be careful, be careful. We've had at least 2 house fires in the city of Meridian overnight. Probably some things have happened in the outlying counties that I hadn't been told about just yet, but use caution. These fires are dangerous. We'll be right back as we'll get things going. Let's go to Collinsville now.
I'm fascinated with my ancestry. I don't know much, but what I do know makes me want to know even more. My paternal grandfather was full-blooded Cajun French, whose forefathers traveled to South Louisiana from modern-day Nova Scotia in the 18th century. My paternal grandmother, Cajun French and Italian. My maternal grandmother's parents both immigrated from Europe in the early 1900s. My maternal grandfather was just a good old American, his family being here probably for generations. Looking back at just a few generations before me, I can see how God brought people together across oceans and continents, resulting in my siblings, myself, and continues on now with my children. It's such a blessing. You see, the Bible is meticulous as well when it comes to ancestry. We can see it in the first chapters of Genesis, and we even see it in the Gospels, where Matthew and Luke carefully traced the lineage of our Lord Jesus back to Abraham and Adam, respectively. Here in Genesis 25, the author gives the reader an account of Abraham's children, and we read that at his death after 175 years of life, Abraham was buried with his wife Sarah by his sons Isaac and Ishmael. And we read in Genesis 25:11, after Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who lived near Beer Lahai Roi. What an encouraging verse. Isaac, the son of the promise of God to Abraham, was blessed by God. God's covenant did not stop with Abraham, nor did his blessing. His covenant with Abraham was forward casted. It involved his offspring through his son promised to him, Isaac. And now, Isaac the patriarch carries that covenant and the blessing forward. It's through the offspring of Isaac, his son Jacob, that the people of Israel will be formed. And it is through his future offspring that the world will be blessed or saved. Of course, that being Jesus Christ. And it is by Jesus Christ that all who trust him for salvation, no matter Jew or Gentile, we become children of Abraham, and we partake in the blessing. What a joy to be a child of Abraham, a child of God, a child bought by the blood of his offspring, the Lord Jesus. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that message. As you're waking up, we're finding that the former vice president has passed away, Dick Cheney. You remember him from the George Bush administration, is when he was in there. He has died at the age of 84. Condolences to his family members. And if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, y'all remind me, wasn't Cheney the one who accidentally shot someone on a hunting trip? I think so, if I remember correctly. It's been a few years since that happened, but best my memory serves me. Tylenol, the makers of that, is being sold in a $48 million deal. Now, that's amongst all these accusations going against him. $48 million. We'll see where that turns out and goes also there. Let's see here. All across America, and I think Jackson, Mississippi is in this, elections are being held today. And, of course, the big one today that's being talked about more than anything is New York City. And, you know, a lot of people referring to it as farther than left, possibly communism. I'm not sure much about this guy, but that word has been used a lot in the last few days. Como. Never did you think that if you were far-right Republican that you would go, boy, he sure sounds like he's got great ideas, but people are now saying that. He was even endorsed by Trump yesterday. What will happen today? My gut tells me it'll go left. We'll see. The thing about New York elections that you've got to remember, and I've looked at one of the ballots, if it's true, the picture I saw, they do have issues. Now, no ID is required in New York City to go vote. You can just go vote. How they track that, I'm not real sure. You would have to have a name. I'm beating a dead horse on that, I think. If I'm saying his name is Zoran, his name is on the ballot twice. They did not take off Eric Adams' name either off of the ballot. He dropped out of the race so that he wouldn't split the vote, but if that picture is true, his name is still on that ballot, which will cause problems and only add to the other candidate. We'll see what happens after 7 p.m. tonight. Again, I wouldn't bet the farm on Como winning. There's a chance. He has gone up in popularity the last few hours, but we'll see what becomes of this. It will be a dark day for New York. Not just today. It will, over a few months and years, you'll see the difference. We'll see. We have a woman that was in the gym, and just ridiculous. This is a paid membership. Man was in there, in the women's changing room. Oh, don't worry, he identified as a woman that day. After she complained, she was kicked out. No longer do people open the doors for a woman. Well, I guess they're having trouble figuring out who is and who's not. I really don't get this movement. For so many years, women fought to vote, women's rights, and remember the Sally Field movie where they burned the bras? Was it Norma Ray? What has happened? And it all really started as you go back when Sarah Huckabee was serving in the White House. And I've never seen people make fun of a lady's weight before. And they got away with it in America. Had that been done before that, I don't think it would have been allowed. What was it, Merle Haggard song? Are we headed to, like a snowball headed to blank? My 2 cents. A woman should always be treated as a lady. This is ridiculous what's going on in America at this point. If a woman can't go into a changing room and have no fear of a man being in there, where have we gone? That's my 2 cents on that. Let's see what's happening here this morning. Yesterday morning we talked about that mayor in Mexico that was gunned down at the Day of the Dead celebration. As we learn more about this, he made the mistake of letting the cartel know that he was coming after them. They took care of it on the spot. Mexico is a different place. That's why we have laws here, and, well, some people don't want to abide by them. But we could end up just the same if that's not enforced. So far as I go back, I have to circle back on this thing. I thought I'd never use that word. New York City, already 735,000 ballots have been cast in early voting. Let's see what else we've got this morning. James Comey, as he sought yesterday to have everything dropped against him and claimed that, well, he really wasn't doing anything to Trump. He wasn't targeting. They released evidence that showed otherwise. A letter. And it's on letterhead of his desk, his signature there, where he made notes of who was in charge of what and what they were going to do to Trump. It doesn't look good. You'll find the document on Twitter. It's all over the place. A guy named Benny Johnson is where I read it. It's everywhere. Looks to be true. It'll head to court to be, they'll authenticate it. But not looking good for Comey. There was no Russia. It's a shame that in America someone can run for, and it doesn't matter who you are, what side of the fence you're, Democrat, Republican, that should never be done to anybody. We'll see where it ends. They have made an arrest, but actually, let me back up. He's charged. The suspect has been named and charged in that London stabbing that happened. Awful. 10 counts of attempted murder. Just went wild. An example should be made of him, and I think they should do it quickly. But you've got to look at the UK. Police can't even carry guns. Who's going to listen to you? And you get things like this when Need a few more Dirty Harrys, don't we? They settled the score quickly there. This was last year, a 4th of July barbecue in New York City. Guy was drunk driving, lost control of his vehicle after, again, he was drunk driving and crashed through a fence, killed 4 at a barbecue. He has been sentenced and found guilty. He is headed off to jail now for the crimes that he did for murder. Awful. This Manhattan judge sent him up. 46-year-old guy, never drank and drives. You can take someone's life for no reason. It was a guy, a lady 43, another lady 30, 159, and a 38-year-old that were killed in that crash. Still had a lot of life left there. Just awful that could happen. And it can go on anywhere. It's funny, but it's not funny, this next story, as I read this, because I know that it has happened before. And the bad part is what they're not telling in this story is trying to get it straightened out. I've known people that it's taken years. And what does it affect? Well, Social Security checks and things. Maine, the health system mailed out 500 letters to let people know that they were dead. Oh, I'm not kidding. But it sounds like a simple fix. But seriously, this has happened in the past, and people had trouble and more trouble and more trouble trying to get this straightened out to prove that they were alive. Well, they can't take taxes out, I guess, if you're already proclaimed dead, but it ain't good. As we look at this heist that happened with the jewels in Paris, they've made these arrests, but no one has turned over where the jewels are. They're already on the black market where they destroyed, I don't know, or kept together. No one has released that information as of yet. I don't know what you get in jail for that. I remember watching a movie, what was it, to where they went to jail, waited it out, didn't tell where the stuff was. They get out of jail and go collect the stuff where they hid it. We'll see. This is odd that someone was found this safe after this long. California. A hunter got lost. He was lost for 20 days. He has been rescued. That's shocking. That's a rarity that someone can be found. October 13th, he didn't return from his hunting trip. And they searched and searched and searched. I'm glad he was found safe. That's a good way to end this. We're expecting an announcement. I think she's being pushed. I mentioned it either Friday or yesterday, but we're expecting to hear a message from Nancy Pelosi before long that says she will not seek re-election in 2026. Now she's older. I think is she 84 now? It's something to that effect. And she would be, well, I'll be nice. But we're expecting to hear that official message. It's already being said. It just hadn't been officially put out there. Pete Hegseth making it to where, and this is two sides. There's a lot of times we don't know the other side of stories when we hear this. They're making it to where military officials cannot talk to Congress without prior approval. And you go, well, why couldn't they? Well, a lot of times sensitive information that's going on is passed on to a congressman, and, well, he may blow it out of proportion, so to speak. This way the government or the officials in the military know exactly what's being said to Congress, and you're not blindsided. What do you think? Good or bad? And Kayla, you're absolutely right. Term limits. We'll never see that, though, will we? It ought to be that on local elections as well. I thoroughly believe in term limits. You can get a bad apple there, and it's harder to get rid of an incumbent than you think. They stay and stay and stay. But I think that ought to be on local elections as well. Before long, they get so happy and, well, in place, they become millionaires in a job that pays maybe $100,000. Explain that to me. Y'all know that goes on. There was a, how many people is this? In Naples, they have recovered the bodies. It was several people. It was an avalanche. They were trying to climb a mountain. An avalanche happened. and the group was killed. They've recovered the bodies. I have never had the thought of climbing a mountain. What was that that show that had Sylvester Stallone, where he was had the guy John Walton in it? They had the stolen money on the mountainside there. He was a rescuer. Yeah, it just doesn't excite me at all. That's just not my thing. Jessica, good morning to you there. Inside Trading. Chris Walker, that does happen also. Let's see what else is happening this morning that we don't know about. We have two men in Michigan that had been arrested for a terror plot. The FBI has moved in. They were planning to do something horrible. They have been caught. They'll have their time in court to prove their innocence. But at this point, it looks like they could be guilty of this. They'll have their time in court to prove that they were not. Now, I've never eaten this stuff. Trader Joe's Cajun-style blackened chicken breast. Do you pronounce it fettuccine, Alfredo, and market side? So far, 6 people have died, 25 hospitalized in a nationwide listeria outbreak linked to the pre-cooked pasta meals. Oh, boy. That's being sold at Trader Joe's and Walmart's and Kroger across the United States. It's that brand, Trader Joe's. I'll watch that. 6 people dead, 25 hospitalized nationwide. Serious. I don't want anybody hurt with any of that. Jon Stewart is going to remain on The Daily Show through December of 26. There was lots of talk that he wouldn't. If you remember, he retired, came back. The show was failing. I guess he's helped it there. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he kin to Jimmy Stewart? That was his uncle or something? He and I don't see eye to eye on politics. That's okay. We wish him well in his endeavors as he tries to hang on to that slot there. I don't know how this will work because it sounds good, but someone's got to pay for it. New Mexico is where we go for our headline story here of what's happening in New Mexico. They're launching a free child care for all. Free child care. Who's going to pay for that? I don't know the answer to that, but somebody will. We'll see what becomes of it there. What else is happening this morning as we look across? Earthquake in Afghanistan. 20 are deceased. Whew. Earthquakes are dangerous. We're not built for that here in Mississippi, are we? Not a bit. And I saw this yesterday also, and it's good to keep history, but a medieval tower in Rome, guy was working inside it, partially collapsed. It took him 11 hours to rescue him out of it. Big cloud of smoke. They did get him out, but it took 11 hours to get to him. Greg's been worried about this all morning. Sean Puff Daddy. Or do you call him P Daddy?
I ain't calling him at all.
You ain't calling him at all. He has got a judge to expedite his appeal schedule, which means he will be able to appeal his sentence a little bit quicker. Doesn't mean by any means that he's getting out any quicker. It just means that he's getting that appeal to be heard quicker. We'll be right back and get into your weather forecast next.
When your AC goes out, your sink leaks, or your breakers are tripping, you need help fast from someone you can trust. That's why we work hard to have the fastest service times and the most knowledgeable technicians in Central Mississippi. Our promise to you, at your door in under 24. So don't wait days for others to show up. Call Environment Masters for hassle-free plumbing, electrical, and AC. At your door in under 24, because it's not cool to make you wait.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 1957, and now serving Meridian homeowners.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Let's talk record highs and record lows for today. Well, back in 16, boy, that one made records all the way across. 85 is what we hit. Our record low was back in 1966 at a low of 24 for the day. Been a little while ago, hadn't it? Unless you were born in 66 and you're thinking that's not so old. Our record, as we go for our highs day, 74 in Meridian. As we move through Highway 19 through Philadelphia, about 73. The further north you go, You'll hit 70 there at the Tennessee line as we get over to Tunica area, about 69 as we go south. Vicksburg still at 73, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast should be right at 71 for a high today. Good weather, but warmer than it has been the last few days. As we look at our nighttime lows tonight, Meridian should see 44. Now, again, we're sitting at 39 right now and nippy outside. Already had 2 house fires. We'll talk about fires and all that kind of stuff coming up in a moment there. 42 in Philadelphia for tonight. We'll see 45 at Ole Miss for the nighttime. Even right at the 50-degree mark over there at South Haven. As we go south, we'll see 47 in Lucedale and Gulfport. Highway 90 area, we'll see somewhere around 53. And that's nippy for the Mississippi Gulf Coast. 53. Y'all keep a jacket on those porches looking out. As we look at Alabama today, 73 in Demopolis, 72 in Birmingham. Over at Auburn, those War Eagles, they got a coach? No, they don't, do they? 71 is what they'll see there. Who do you think they're going to hire? What's y'all's thought?
Some idiot from up north.
Somebody from up north. It'll happen. We'll talk about that also. As we see this, we're at a nice, just kind of normal temperature in Mississippi. We do see out to our west of California, New Mexico, warmer weather inching its way toward Texas, and usually that affects us. As we look at our 7-day forecast, 74 today, even hotter over the weekend. Look at this, 77 on Wednesday, 78, almost making it to 80 on Friday and Saturday. Then we'll see the change come back into where we start seeing 72 on Sunday, and then dropping to 61. That's a big difference. That's 20 degrees difference. Y'all be ready for that. It will change. As we look at this, the 11th, 56 for a high. Get out my electric battery jacket. We'll see 66 on Wednesday and hover somewhere around 70 for the next few days there until November the 18th as we head toward Thanksgiving. I'm not seeing a lot of rain there. A little bit there on the 17th is what we've got. As we look at our best times to fish today, head on out. It's going to be 9:42 this morning, your best time, to about 11:42. Between 9 and noon is your best times. A minor time this afternoon at 3 o'clock, so if you're getting off work, it'll be a good time to try that. Sunrise happening this morning at 6:14. Sunset each day is getting shorter and shorter at 5:01. Now let's talk about hunting, what's going on over at Wimberley Taxidermy. As we'll see today, it's a better day to hunt, a little bit higher on that totem pole. As we go to major times to fish, 9:46 to hunt today, 9:46 till about 11:46 before noon. Minor times to hunt this afternoon between 3:45 and 4:45. That's almost perfect. That's right there at that dark 30. 15 minutes before dark. Could have one still linger in. Sunrise again happened at 6:12. At 5:01 p.m. we go dark. Is what we're looking at. What's happening with the tropics? That's a shock. Absolutely nothing going on in the tropics, in which we welcome. Knock on some wood up here. We haven't had a bad hurricane season at all. I don't want to throw anything off, but it's been good so far. We won't make any complaints about that. Let's go back over and take a look at live radar of what we've got going on in the state of Mississippi from Doc's Toyota. Nothing. Look at that. We got a little bit of fog out to the west of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Over, I don't know what happened there. That went wild, didn't it? Let's go back to radar. Here we are. As we get over here near Birmingham, we've got a little bit more around there. Gadsden. A little bit of fog. It gets thicker as you get up near Chattanooga. You've been through that before. Knoxville, Tennessee. Tons of fog in that area. Look at that. It's so thick you can't see your hand. Johnson City, Tennessee as well. So that's what we've got going on there, but no rain there. Nothing really happening. A few showers around Cuba, Key West. So we're sitting good this morning as we do your weather forecast. We got so much more to do this morning. I do hope you'll hang around with us as we get the morning show underway. You ready for this, Greg?
Wide open.
He's wide open. I bumped into him again last night somewhere. This man never stops working. We did get a picture from Odie from the ocean.
Oh, Hurricane Odie's.
Hurricane Odie's still out there. We'll share all that with you coming up at 7. Join us, won't you?